What's going on, guys? I'm here with Warner Fields of Profit. He spent 190,000. I always forget, is that the right number?
Yep.
April 190,000. Kid's absolutely crushing it. 22 years old. Started flipping textbooks out of his dorm room years ago, and now he always says he's a mid six-figure seller, which I always find that like a really awkward way to phrase how many you sold. But
Well,
mid six, soon to be seven-figure seller, if not already. Are you?
It'll by the end of May, I'll be there.
You'll be selling seven figures a month pretty soon, I have a feeling. So, especially with wholesale. But in this video, we're going to go over exactly how to tell if variations sell. Sometimes you can go to a variation, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so hot, but you guys end up buying a size 20 shoe. A big reseller in the community actually went really deep on shoes a few years ago. I won't call him out, but I think he said he was going to do like 5 million in sales. The mistake that he made was he bought a bunch of size 3 men's and a bunch of size 20 women's, and I don't even know if those sizes exist, but basically he did not know variations very well. So in this video, Warner's going to educate us on that.
Look, grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome to the freaking well show, and party central to my well ones, a night of violated hell codes. Dope sells like the charge do, but selling's all about potential.
Cool. So I just went ahead and pulled up this, random shoe right here. It's just an Adidas shoe selling really well. So when we go and look at this listing, like let's just pick a size here. This white, the all white shoe is probably selling pretty well. Like the black one probably sells a little better. Like you can reason roughly like which ones are selling better. Like, the white's probably selling a little better than the crazier colors, but we need exact data when we're spending real money. Like, especially if you're going to be out here trying to go for 5 million, like you need to have that data. So what we're going to do is in this case, like this whole item is selling 1,400 times a month, according to SellerAmp. But that's not the size 10 white. That's the entire listing, the whole listing selling that many times. So what we need to do to figure out exactly how many times this specific size is selling is scroll down here to the variations tab of SellerAmp. You can also use Keepa for this. But then we're just going to go ahead and press check. And that's going to run a check just to see of which exact sizes are getting the most reviews and stuff like that. Might take a second here. So this is from like the most recent reviews. Keepa shows you all of them. SellerAmp shows you the most recent ones. So I like to combine both of them sometimes, especially with stuff like this, where, in the past, maybe it was selling really well, like especially with Adidas, like Amazon's been a lot of these listings. So in the past, something could have sold really well because Amazon was on it, and now it might be much, much slower. But it looks like, breaking this down here, it looks like of the last 109 reviews, 5% of those has gone to this specific color we were looking at, the white black size 10 here. So now we know that this shoe is selling, 5% of this total number. I'm not going to do the mental math there.
Real quick, was that data the same data that you would have seen if you would have gone to Keepa variations?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different because this is more recent data. So it pulls like the more recent. This pulls all of the data, so you can combine both just to get a more full picture. So like on over here, we got 5% of the reviews to this specific color. We can check over here, and we've got 3% of the ratings on the total time of the whole listing. So you could use either number there. The only difference is reviews are when they actually leave a review, and then ratings are just when they click 5 stars, stuff like that. So go off of either one. You could average them out, so 4% in this case, and that would be how much this specific size is selling. Multiply this times 0.004, and then you can stock accordingly. So in this case, like let's see, we've got looks like 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 competitive sellers who are FBA within a couple percentage points of that low FBA price. So we'd come in here and try to buy like 25 to 33% of whatever that math ends up being.
Okay, I know your time is limited. I have one more question, and do you have enough time for one more question?
Yep.
Okay, so if you go back to Keepa, go to price history, I've noticed that if you change the variation, so everyone take a mental screenshot of what you see here, then go change the size or color, and you'll see that it actually changes to Keepa down there. How often should we look at this main Keepa when we're looking at a variation? Because in the previous video we just shot, if you guys haven't checked it out already, I just asked Warner a ton of questions that I selfishly have for myself, and we recorded the whole thing. tons of great content and more advanced questions. So if you guys want to watch that, the link to that video is below. But in that video, you said the sales rank can actually change based on sales of other variations can affect the sales rank of one variation. So should we avoid looking at this main page, or what's your
I pretty much ignore the sales rank part of variation listings, but the buy box price line is going to be super important. Just to make sure you're going to stay profitable over time. And then you're going to use like the variations on Keepa, variations on SellerAmp, whichever you want to do, to figure out how much of these drops. Like basically you could use this as like an indicator of the listing as a whole, but you're going to take like a percentage of those drops, and maybe, you know, in this case, like the size 10 white, we're like, oh, every 20 of these drops is that specific size.
Gotcha. That may have been the biggest mistake I've made with the $20,000 in inventory that I've purchased so far.
I guess we'll find out then.
Yep. Really appreciate you coming on, man. They can find you at Fields of Profit everywhere. If you guys want to invest in his program will be below. It's a few $100s. He's always increasing the price because he's always adding value to it. He added a bunch of videos last week. I'm catching up on those this morning as I was drinking my coffee. It's actually 4 o'clock in the afternoon over here, Central Time, and I'm still drinking coffee. I wake up super late. But yeah, really appreciate you coming on, man. I feel like I'm missing something. You got a Discord of 20,000 plus. We'll link that below too. You guys can join that. And yeah, go check out my other videos with I shot with Warner. We'll link those below. And much love. Thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely.